Hello everyone, it's me again. The weather has been, it's a cloudy day out there. Might clear up later. And the weather has been great. Yes, it's been hot and humid, but it's been raining about every other day, and with good rain. So I think I've watered once in the last so many weeks. Um, just wonderful. One more chore I don't have to do out there is water my plants, right? Yes, that's great. It's just how it works out. Yes, yeah, wonderful to have all that help from the heavenly weather. Okay, in a time where things could be really really dry and hot continuously. So let me see how long 23 is. It's a pretty long one. So I'm going to start out just with a short uh, little story going way back on how things suddenly, for one reason or another, amongst Cain's people and Seth's people, yes, I don't know, I kind of like this. Do I like the segregation? No. But do I acknowledge the segregation when it comes to, well, who we are as people on earth? Yes. And I hope others do too. Because if one doesn't acknowledge the problem, then how are you going to fix it? How are you going to find a solution so all people become one under whom? Under God's umbrella, our heavenly parents' umbrella. Yes? In the right way, not coerced, not forced, not misunderstood, not for one's own agenda. Interestingly enough, and the bottom line is again abortion. Interestingly enough, in Genesis, and Genesis became the 6 days of creation, well, however long they were, have been recorded and written down before the 6 evolutionary periods of science. Let's be very clear about that and how amazing that actually is and what kind of a proof that is. Who came first, the chicken or the egg? And interestingly enough, there too, God created everything first in absolute harmony, and human beings were created last. Yes? Yeah. And again, don't bring up the ape. Apes aren't evolving anymore. Why not? If we did come from ape, why did it suddenly stop? Oh, according to science, that's not a possibility then. According to science, things just keep going on. Yes? So, if you want to believe that, any apey stuff, then you'd have to believe in God, because only God would be able to stop that evolution from happening to apes. Wouldn't it? Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Well, you got a better explanation for that? Well, you tell me. Because as far as I know, many animals that are the ancestors of the animals we have now aren't here anymore. They're gone. They're history. But the ape's still around. The gorilla's still around. Whoa, how interesting is that? Huh? Alright. I'm just saying. Alright? So God created everything in this perfect way for us then to be able kind of to take over this place of this absolute perfect painting. Yes? This absolute perfect existence. in the universe, here as Earth, the stars, the planets around us, on how they reflect our existence here, how they make our existence balanced and possible. Yes, as human beings. We then were established here by God through God's consciousness. Yes, God's consciousness created in the image of God. Not everything is baloney that's in here. Means God's consciousness is here on earth within every one of us. To keep, to use, to never abuse. Quite simple. It's not that hard to get it. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to have the IQ of a genius to understand these simple things. Yes? All right. So, I'll start with that. And the reason I bring this up on how God is this perfect heavenly parent who set up everything first before he created his most amazing creation, which is mankind. Man and woman. Yes? Wow, that's amazing. So, isn't that the most perfect example on how every man and every woman together should prepare beforehand everything before they create a child that then they may want or not want? You gotta kind of grab the things by the roots, right? Cut off all that excess that's not needed. All these little fissures suddenly that, right, people want to hang on to, that they break so easily. The arguments don't stand for abortion. They just don't. They don't stand against abortion either, though. Because again, people just scrape the surface. If you're willing to save a life out there, when it comes to that, then you have to stay in that child's life for the rest of your life to make sure that it has a good life. Don't you think? That's again for someone that wants to save. A mother and a father from getting an abortion. If you do that, then you have to stay in that child's life to make sure that that father and mother are going to do the right thing to that child afterwards as well. You have to. If you're not willing to take that responsibility, then you have to give that choice, that freedom of will, that freedom of choice to that mother and father, if we like it or not. That is a law. All right. Now, having said that, let's keep going. We're going to get, and then I'll tell you a little more, and then, okay, 8 minutes into it. All right, so, Ezekiel, an allegorical, we're in the book of Ezekiel 23, an allegorical history of Jerusalem. I'm wearing the wrong glasses, can't be the thing with those. The word of Yahweh was addressed to me as follows: Son of man, there were once two women, daughters of the same mother. They played the whore in Egypt. They played the whore when they were still girls. There their nipples were handled. There their virgin breasts were first fondled. So they didn't play the whore. They were abused as that. Their names were Ohola the elder, Oholiba her sister. They belonged to me and bore sons and daughters. As regards their names, Samaria is Ohola, Jerusalem, Oholiba. Now Ohola played the whore, although she belonged to me. She lusted after her lovers, her neighbors, the Assyrians. dressed in purple, governors and magistrates, all of them young and desirable and skillful horsemen. All right, so it's again women abused as an example on how the whole of a people, in this case Samaria and Jerusalem, which is a place. Why not say the people of Samaria and the people of Jerusalem? All of them? The whole lot of them? Okay. It is so, again, this makes me mad in the way that this is put in here for then people to abuse it and accuse just certain people out there. And have them in a certain place then as subject and object. Alright, let's keep going. Ugh. She played the whore with all of them, the pick of Assyria, and defiled herself with all the foul idols of all those with whom she was in love. Nor did she give up the whoring began in Egypt. Why not use men? Men are bigger whores than women could ever be. Why not just use the example of men, where men had slept with her from her girlhood, fondling her virgin breast, debauching her over and over again. That's like reading porn. That is why I have handed her over to her lovers, I'm assuming, to the Assyrians with whom she was in love. They stripped her naked, seized her sons and daughters, and put her to the sword. She became notorious among women for the justice done on her. Notorious among women, like a warning. What happened to the guys that abused these women? Oh, nothing. Oh, wait a minute. That was... Oh, wait. Are we still talking about Samaria and Jerusalem, or did we actually go into actual peoples? I don't know. It's a weird way. Okay, you know what? Her sister, obviously, okay, so we're back to people. Her sister Oholibah saw all this, but she was even more depraved, and her whorings were worse than her sister's. She fell in love with her neighbors, the Assyrians, governors and magistrates, dressed in sumptuous clothes, skillful horsemen, all young and desirable. Oh, now we're talking again now about the city, this time Jerusalem. Then I saw that she had defiled herself, that both sisters were equally bad. She began whoring worse than ever. No sooner had she seen wall carvings of men, pictures of Chaldeans, colored vermilion, men with sashes round their waists, and elaborate turbans on their heads, also lordly of bearing, depicting the Babylonians, natives of Chaldea. Then she fell in love with them at first sight, and sent messengers to them in Chaldea. The Babylonians came to her, shared her love bed, and defiled her with their whoring. I find it so sad that the act of love making, the conjugal relationship between a man and a woman that is supposed to be most sacred, because it does what? Yes. Eventually, yeah, when you get successful and once a wonderful happening, yes, create a child, yeah. That this is being used, that this act is being used as an example in such a depraved way. Yes? Once defiled by them, she withdrew her affection from them. It makes me mad. Thus she flaunted her whoring, exposing her body, until I withdrew my affection from her as I had withdrawn it from her sister. And this is supposed to be coming from God? You know what? You may want to believe that. I will not believe that. Huh? I already said, being addressed as the Son of Man by God? Nope. And then saying stuff like this? Nope. Said, this is how you have to look at it, Ezekiel, and tell the people about it. I do not believe that. But she began whoring worse than ever, remembering her girlhood when she had played the whore in Egypt, when she had been in love with their profligates, big-membered as donkeys, ejaculating as violently as stallions. You were hankering for the debauchery of your girlhood when they used to handle your nipples in Egypt and fondle your young breasts. And so, Oholibah, Lord Yahweh says this, don't believe that, I shall set all your lovers against you from whom you have withdrawn your affection, and bring them to assault you from all directions. The Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, the men of Pekok and Shoa and Koa, and all the Assyrians with them, young and desirable, all governors and magistrates, all famous lords and skillful horsemen. From the north they will advance on you with chariots and wagons and international army. International. I didn't know that word at that time. And beset you with shield, buckler, and helmet on all sides. I shall charge them to pass sentence on you, and they will pass sentence on you as they think fit. I shall direct my jealousy against you. They will treat you with fury. They will cut off your nose and ears, and what is left of your family will fall by the sword. They will seize your sons and daughters, and what is left will be burnt. They will strip off your garments and rob you of your jewels. I shall put an end to your debauchery and to the whorings you began in Egypt. You will not look to the Egyptians anymore. You will never think of them again. I knew why I started what I started with when I started in the beginning. This is saying this came from God in the way that He described all this, instead of just telling them how it is. You like to buff to all the Israelites. You don't want to be my people. You want to be everybody else's people. Simple. There, one sentence, right? And say, hence, the consequences are. For the Lord Yahweh says this. Nope, never said anything like that. Now I shall hand you over to those who hate, to those for whom you no longer feel affection. They will treat you with hatred. They will rob you of the entire fruit of your labors and leave you stark naked. And thus you shameful whorings will be exposed to your debauchery and your whorings. This will happen to you because you have played the whore with the nations and have defiled yourself with their foul idols. Since you have copied your sister's behavior, I shall put her cup in your hand. The Lord Yahweh says this. You will drink your sister's cup, a cup both deep and wide, leading to laughter and mockery, so ample the draught it holds. You will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, cup of affliction and devastation. The cup of your sister Samaria will drink it. You will drain it. Then you will break it in pieces and lacerate your own breasts. For I have spoken, declared the Lord Yahweh. And so the Lord Yahweh says this, since you have forgotten me and have turned your back on me, you too will have to bear the weight of your debauchery and whorings. And Yahweh said to me, no he didn't, son of man, son of man, are you ready to judge Oholah and Oholibah, and charge them with their loathsome practices? They have been adulteresses, their hands are dripping with blood. They have committed adultery with their foul idols. As for the children they had borne me, they have offered them as burnt sacrifices to feed them. And here is something else they have done to me. They have defiled my sanctuary today and have profaned my Sabbaths. The same day as sacrificing their children to their idols, they have been to my sanctuary and profaned it. We already read all of this. Yes, this is what they have done in my own house. This is just repetition over repetition over repetition. I wonder why. It's to keep God in His place. That's very interesting. The loving, all-embracing God, Heavenly Parent, has no chance of emerging if the people believe that this is coming from God. That's interesting. Worse still, they summoned men from far away, invited by messenger, and they came. For them you bathed, you painted your eyes, put on your jewels, and sat on a sumptuous bed, by which a table was laid out. On this you had put my incense and my oil. The noise of the carefree company resounded, made by the crowd of men brought in from the desert. They put bracelets on the women, arms, and magnificent crowns on their heads. I thought, that woman worn out with adultery. Are they going to fornicate with her too? Yet they visit her like any common prostitute, just as they visited those profligate women, Oholah and Oholibah. All the same, there are upright men who will judge them, as adulteresses and murderesses are judged, since they are adulteresses and their hands are dripping with blood. Did you know that adulteress and adulteresses or adulteress is not a word? The AI does not only adulterers. Adulterers, right, is adulteress is not in there. There's no distinction in male and female. Yeah, interesting. The Lord Yahweh says this: summon an assembly to deal with them, and hand them over to the terror and pillage. Let the assembly stone them and dispatch them with their swords. Let their sons and daughters be slaughtered and their houses set on fire. This is how I shall purge the country of debauchery, so that all women will be taught the lesson never to ape your debauchery again. Your debauchery will recoil on yourselves, and you will bear the weight of the sins committed with your foul idols, and you will know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Okay, wow. So, something came to mind here while I was reading this, just at the end here as well. There is no way that anyone can that a man could become an adulterer, commit adultery, if there wasn't another party to it. And it goes both ways for a woman as well. There has to be another party willing. Yes? So, why is it so? Right? In the Bible, we find that very clear on how there's only always one side addressed when it comes to adultery. It's either the man. Oh, no, wait a minute. What am I saying? In here, it's always the woman. Right? Yes? Okay. But since all the towns are referred to as women, as her, so then it's whoever, man or woman, who's committing all this stuff, it's referred to as her. Interesting. Why? Ha! Why make it so confusing? Yeah. You know how easily people are just... Okay. But again, in order to commit adultery, there has to be two people. One person alone can't do it. Interesting? So, no matter what, it's always two people. When it comes to an abortion, it's always two people. It's never just one. Two. Yeah. So, that is for the abortions that are being done willy-nilly out there. Okay? Let's see, how much time do I have? So, then, suddenly, there was a time, always a time, starts in Genesis as well, and is written down as such, which, I disagree with, where Adam is the first one, and then, Adam was lonely, so God just, so let me take a part of you and make you a mate. Wow, what, really? So God had created everything so perfectly in 6 days, in 5 days, and didn't miss out on making sure that every male animal, for example, has a mate. So they're not lonely? Oh, okay. But then when it came to man, God forgot. Really? How convenient. And then write it down in a way, whoever wrote it down, in a way that then the man's always more important than the woman, right? Well, yeah. And then on top of that, of course, it was Eve, right, who ate that forbidden fruit. Oh, well, if you think a little bit, what that forbidden fruit is, actually, an apple, what, you're going to get thrown out of the Garden of Eden because you eat an apple? Well, that's a forbidden fruit. Huh? How is that a forbidden fruit? It's food. It's just food. Oh, it was a persimmon. Really? That's just food, too. Forbidden food is poisonous. Alright? So what would that be? Don't eat the wrong mushrooms? The wrong berries? The wrong roots? That can kill you. But then you're physically dead. That's it. So what was that forbidden fruit? Don't have sex before you're married and are ready for a kid. Simple rule. Don't do it. So show some restraint. Wait! Isn't that what love is all about? Not lust, love. So the forbidden fruit, Eve ate. She couldn't eat by herself. Could she? Oh, well, I'm glad we got this out of the way. And I'll leave you with that for right now. But this is where it started. Subject, object. Yes? Let's see, what time is it? Let me just really quick. The definition of subject and object in human relationships. Very interesting. Subject is the active entity. Oh! Is the self an active, conscious individual with inner feelings and agency. Oh! If you understand that. While an object is a passive entity. Oh! You mean Eve didn't start it? Oh! According to how people want us to believe things out there. It's in the divine principle also in a way that, nope, not taking it anymore. I've studied too much. You're not, as a good prophet, also you don't always have everything written down right. While an object is what the subject perceives, interacts with, or uses to fulfill needs. All right. Now, everyone who thinks that Eve was the problem in the Garden of Eden, that says otherwise. Okay. That's it for today. That's all I want to share in this one. Yes? May Heavenly Parent bless, protect you, guide you, embrace you with love. Eldritch, my dearest brother in faith, let's keep praying. We're going in the right direction. And I will talk to you all another time.